Good evening, Fanfest. How are we doing? Who's ready for some PvP? We are here to witness the end of the Fanfest Global Tournament. Of course, this started with the Invasion series in various different countries, and it has finally come down to London versus Germany. Let me introduce our hosts. First of all, we have the wonderful Ithaca Hawk. The magnificent man with the golden tie, Jintan. Minus the cat ears. And last but not least, Wingnut Cross. These guys are going to be our commentators and hosts for the upcoming matches. If you would like to take your positions. Next up, I'd like to introduce CCP Carbon and CCP Goat as our two main referees, just looking out after the guys. And finally, the contestants. On the red side, RNG, Starfleet Commander, and Annie Gardet. If you'd like to take your seats. And on the blue side, we have, and I have to be careful with this one, no fox given. Come on down, guys. Blank. And Mikael. It's helpful when you remember names, isn't it? We also have CCP Paragon helping me out on the camera today. So the wonderful work will be all his. And without further ado, let's get things rolling. Take it away, gents.
Thank you very much, CCP Zealous. My name is Ithaca Hawk. As mentioned, I've got Jintan and Wingnut Cross, and I am so excited that we are finally here at this final. It's only taken us 3 years to get here. 3 years we started this. And now we've got Germany versus London. So Jintan, where were all the different teams from originally?
Yeah, we had originally 8 teams competing at this event. That all happened yesterday. We had a team, unfortunately, that was knocked out from Toronto, Russia, an online open qualifier, which had to fight through 16 rounds of best of 1 to get here. I've said Toronto. Vegas, Amsterdam, and Australia, represented by our good friend Wingnut. Wingnut, what was it like trying to fight your way through and not quite making it to these finals?
Minorly embarrassing. This is why you check your lock ranges, guys. I thought I had 80 kilometers. I did not.
So unfortunately, you were knocked out. The best of 1 single elimination, 16 rounds the online-only team had to get through. I believe the word for that is absolute shenanigans and bullshit. But they managed to get through. They got knocked out yesterday in the tournament that brought us here. So as mentioned, we have from London, Team RNG, composed of the Starfleet Commander and Annie Gardet. 2 incredibly experienced tournament pilots. Starfleet, of course, is the captain from the We Farm Volta Alliance tournament team who came 2nd this year. Annie Gardet is actually the brains behind that team. Starfleet knows almost nothing about the game. Annie carries them to victory. Jintan, can you tell me a little bit about the German team?
Yeah, Makolian is a renowned PvP pilot, the captain of the Lumpy AT team. Erzblank, I haven't had quite as much time to get to know, but he has been an excellent pilot so far in the games, managing to win out matches in the qualifiers to get to this in Hull, carrying Mikoolian on his back to do so.
So, Wingnut, tell me a little bit about the matches yesterday. Like, you competed in, I believe, unfortunately, just one.
Yep.
But what was the tournament format like yesterday?
So it was all obviously AT cruisers, AT frigates. They were all passive tanked, and there was a few special ones made that to catch people out, like me. But we've had a few interesting ones. There are some that have ABs fitted. There are some that have like no tank, and there are some that are just amazing. I mean, the Laylaps was a god king. Rapid lights, maximum shield tank. The theme was banned a lot. Obviously, we all know any Phantasm-based hull is ridiculous, so theme follows that trend very well.
Yeah, so if you don't know, all these ships that we're talking about, these are all Alliance Tournament prize ships given out over the last 19 years of EVE Online. And this is what they're having to fly with today. Ships that on TQ would cost you hundreds of billions, if not more. And in this round, CSB Zealous has gone home and had a few drinks and then changed all of the fits. So now instead of passive tank, we have active tank, and he's fitted basically full of officer modules. So these ships are now worth potentially trillions if it was on Tiki. Of course, this is on Thunderdome, so it doesn't actually count.
And in some cases, active tank. There are a few special ones again, and I hope these guys don't pick them, but at the same time, I really hope they do.
Yeah, it's worth noting that these teams have both only had about a day to look over these fits. I heard that Starfleet Commander at Annie actually skipped some of the earlier events today to sit at home and practice on Singularity so that they could know a little bit about what they were coming up to.
Yeah, I actually spoke to Starfleet yesterday, and he left the pub crawl to go back to his apartment so they could practice hard. He got into his apartment at 10:05, and CCP Zealous had turned Thunderdome off at 10 p.m. So he went off for no reason. You literally wasted your evening.
Leaving the pub crawl early.
Yep.
That is some heresy.
Who here went to the pub crawl? Yeah. Who here was very tired this morning? Yeah.
And who here's lost their voice?
Me too.
How are you all still awake?
I've been standing over there before this. Like, I've literally still got them. Like, throat lozenges and gargling coffee, trying to get my voice to come back a little bit. Unfortunately for CSB Zealous, his went literally as we were standing here discussing things, mid-sentence, bang, that's the end of the voice. But this happens at Fanfest. Did you guys have a great time at Fanfest, though? Good, because you have to. You're legally obliged to say you did. That's why you're here. But we're only, I think, maybe 10 minutes away, 5 minutes away from doing what EVE players do best in EVE Online. That is just punching each other in the face until someone wins. And I see lots of conferring going on.
I'm just liking I can see a couple of the ships, and I'm already excited.
Yeah, I'm actually going to wander over and see what people are picking. I could ruin this entire tournament if I said the wrong thing now. Hi, Annie.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. What about you?
I'm very well, thank you. Are you nervous?
I'm fine.
Oh, fantastic. How about you?
That man's lying.
How about you, Starfleet Commander? Are you nervous?
Ask me easy.
Easy, he says. Easy. Easy game. So if you're on Team RNG, give us a cheer. Very nice. So let's go check these guys out. How are you guys doing? You nervous?
Not at all. I'm just happy to be here.
Just happy to be here. That's very pleasant.
That man's lying too.
And what about yourself? You look like you're very busy fitting ships.
Yeah, just some heat management issues.
Some heat management issues. Yeah, don't burn your guns out. That'd be very embarrassing. A lot of people will see it. If you're on the No Fox Given side, give us a cheer.
Yeah, there you go.
There we are. It seems like we've got a clear fan favorite here, No Fox Given. We'll see if that changes after the first round. We see what ships these teams bring.
Yeah, my favorites too, to be honest. They've known you as Blank in the past, so I'm betting on you. Don't
of course,
screw it
gambling
up.
is now against the EULA, so please don't bet on any of these matches.
I'm looking forward to see what these teams bring. I'm seeing some very interesting ship choices on both sides. I think CSB Zealous, how many minutes out are we in this one?
Little over 5 minutes.
Little over 5 minutes. That's a long time, that's what that is.
Yeah, why don't we go over some of the rules quickly of this match?
What's a great idea?
So both teams will be starting outside of D-scan range from one another, as is the norm for these tournaments. The warp-in ranges will be anywhere from 0 to 30 kilometers, and they will be choosing warp-ins at angles that they don't know from the other team. So even if you warp in at 30, there is a chance that you could, land at 90 from another team that's warped in at 30, and you end up quite close to one another. So there's a lot of guesswork and a lot of mind games that come into play when you're deciding where to warp in. And also, because this is a 2v2, the arena is only an 80-kilometer radius. So there is nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. You've got to fight or die.
Wingnut, speaking of dying,
Oh,
that happened to you the other day.
that's too soon, man.
Tell me exactly what happened, because you told me afterwards, and it was kind of funny.
Yeah. So I told you guys about the lock range, 56 kilometers. That sounds great, except I'm flying an Adrestia with a shootable range of about 120. And my plan was to use the Raiju, double damp out the laylaps to less than 60, and start aggressing the poor guy. Just as we're about to be warped into the arena, wait a second. Oh, no. So we had to just charge. We had nothing else we could do. We had to charge in point blank with a railgun ship because we had no range control. I am so embarrassed. This is why you check your fits, guys. You don't wait until the last moment like I did.
Well, one of the things about playing in tournaments, so there's the Alliance tournament, the Anger Games, which is on in a couple of weeks.
It's on, May the 28th and 29th.
Yeah.
And then it will be played for another 3 weekends from there.
Yeah, bunch of nutters. That's Sothracel and Dirk, who has been organizing that. Fantastic. If you like tournaments, make sure you watch that. We've had the Alliance tournament, we had the Alliance Open, a whole bunch of things. So but if you've never flown in a tournament, it's actually incredibly stressful. You think, oh, I'm just going to go do some PvP, but then as soon as you get teleported, suddenly you feel like the heart start to go, and then you warp in and you see the enemies. Never imagine doing that sitting on a stage with all of you wonderful people staring at you, knowing that if you make a mistake, if you burn your guns out,
everyone's going to know.
Everyone's going to know all
And
about it.
they're all going to laugh.
Yeah, I will laugh as well. So.
Yeah, honestly, I would too. At myself.
So, Jintan, what ships are you excited to see here? What do you think is going to be the real powerhouse thus far? We've had a couple of bans from the earlier rounds.
Yeah. Actually, in this match, the Fiend and the Maracha are banned. The bans are actually being decided by RNG based on all of the ships.
Not the team.
Not by RNG, the team, by the random number generator operated by our good friend CCP Zealous. So there are 3 ships that can potentially be banned: the Fiend, the Maracha, and the Laylaps. And a dice roll will decide which 2 of those are banned and which one is free to be allowed. In this first match, it is the Fiend and the Maracha that have been banned. So you have still have quite a considerable number of ships to choose from. You've got everything from the Vanguard, a really, really old AT ship that has newt bonuses, armor, and a huge amount of tank. But then you've also got things like the Adestria, which our good friend Wignut failed to use appropriately, and also some really fun little frigates like the Virtuoso. I really hope we see a Virtuoso. It's a kiting stealth bomber, effectively. And whilst most of these frigates can catch them, if you can lock down the cruiser, possibly, you can put down so much DPS downrange with it.
Yeah, there's a lot of really fantastically overpowered ships that you can win doing the Alliance tournament, and CCP Zealous has made them even more overpowered with those officer modules.
Some of them. Some of them.
So this could be incredibly quick, or it could be incredibly slow and painful. We will find out very soon. I see the teams are in space, so I think we're only a few minutes away now.
The warping is enabled. The pilots are on the way to the arena.
Warping is enabled, so the teams will soon get their first view of each other, and they'll have that moment when they go, oh, crap, we picked the wrong ships, and see who's going to win this one. But Jintan, if I had to ask you to put some money on it, not in the EULA, of course, which one would you go for? Which team?
You know, I'm going to go for the team that's most prepared and go against the crowd here, be the heel as I usually am. I'm going to say that RNG will take this first match. Their superior practice seems to have, will hopefully pay off.
Well, one single person agrees with you. So.
Oh, it's just like most of my opinions then. Normally it's my mum.
And when... And Wingnut, which team are you going to go for in this first match?
I'm not even going for the team. I'm going for yours blank. That's
what,
all.
by himself?
By himself. The other guy I don't know, don't care. He's all good. Just yours blank. Mate, again, my money's on you. Don't screw it up like I did.
Again, hypothetical money.
Oh, of course. Like, no, just magical money that doesn't really exist or in any shape or form.
Right, so I'm on the tiebreaker. Well, technically, you didn't even vote for a team. You voted for a person. But I'm going to assign you to this team. So I'm actually in Volta, so I think Starfleet says I have to vote for
I think he
vote
said
for
he'll
them?
kick you out if you didn't
Yeah.
vote for him. So,
So I'm
yeah.
going to vote for the RNG guys. I think they can pull us out. There's so much tournament experience on this desk in
All
general.
right, we now have ships on grid by the looks of things. This is going to be a really interesting matchup because we have a mirror to start the game off. Annie Gardet in the Adestria and Starfleet Commander in the Cambion going up against Mikolel in the Adestria and Blank in the Cambion.
They both picked the ship I failed in. This is not fair.
So the Cambion, if you don't know, is it claims to be a frigate. It looks like a frigate. It's
That's a lie.
actually a Drake hiding inside a frigate skin. It's incredibly powerful. Does a huge amount of DPS, massive amounts of tank, and of course the Adrestia can just vomit DPS. We're going to go to the match soon. Don't worry, calm yourself down. As I see that we're getting locked up, we're getting ready to do it, and the first match will be commentated by Wingnut Cross and Yin Tan.
Yeah, something interesting to note about these Cambion fits as well is that both of these Cambions are going to be polarized rocket Cambions. So there is an absolute hell of a lot of DPS, but next to no tank to back it up with.
Just as he
And it
finished
looks
saying,
like
they're Drakes. They just removed the Drake part of it, and now it's just really good rocket DPS. So.
they do have an active tank. They've got a medium ancillary shield booster, so
And the
a
countdown
lot
has
of
begun.
reps are going to be coming out of here, but we're going to see health bars go up and down, up and down.
Oh, mate, I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be a bloodbath.
20 seconds.
Oh, anyone else getting excited? I am.
15 seconds.
I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be beautiful, boys.
What do you think the first primaries are going to be? Do you think those
10
Adestrias are going to try and
seconds.
pick off those Cambions?
A Cambion is a hard target to hit, so I suspect they'll probably go for the headshot here with all the
5,
DPS.
4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, and we're off, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't seen quite yet. Oh, yeah, both of those Cambions
In
are
we
charging
go.
at each other, but they've gone past each other. They're both going for the tackles on those Adestrias, but they're using that defensive scram. Look at the HP on Blank, though,
Yeah.
Wingnut.
They're going for the DPS on the Cambions. I think that's drone DPS and maybe some guns, but yeah, they're going for the tackle on the big boys, but they'll change over. They're now tackling each other. Cambion versus Cambion action, dead center here. One of the Adestrias is running the hell away. That's
Yeah,
Nick
Annie
Nicole?
Gardet is going in almost javelin range here. It looks like, no, he's swapping over to Mikolel in the Adestria. He's ignoring, he's not even trying to help his friend there because Starfleet
Oh,
Commander is
no.
going down.
That was not a good choice, switching over targets there. He could have made the trade with yours, but he's like, nope, I'm going for the other Adestria.
That said, Mikolel is low. He is in he's got a third of his armor taken away here. He does have a rep though, so some of this will come back.
And I believe he has an assault damage control as well. I have to double check that one, but so he's got extra burst of tank, which might actually help him here.
Yeah, look at that. The Cambion is able to wrap up here, and if he's being smart, he will probably be able to reload his medium Ansil shield booster before Annie Gardet can finish off Mikolel.
Yep, and I just noticed the Annie Gardet is now re-tackling the Cambion, so I think... Is he tackling? Yeah, he's re-tackling the Cambion, so he's trying to get the kill perhaps, or maybe trying to stop Blank from running away. But at the moment, just not looking too good for Annie at the moment.
Yeah, I think the scram range bonus on the Adestria is just allowing him to peel him off, basically.
I said that. Look how close Mikako's getting. He's repping real low.
Yeah, wow, this is just going back and forth. Both teams here probably running low on Ansil pace. You can see, though, Mikolel now finally entering Hull.
Oh, boy.
Oh, this could be bad. This could be bad. I think an unloaded Ansil might be able to tank just that Cambion DPS, potentially. So if they can get Mikolel down, this might be game, potentially.
Oh, man, I was
No,
going to say that Annie's
it's
not got
close here.
shots. Oh, another bit of
No.
Hull. Another little bit of Hull, another 10%.
Oh, Miko is holding on just like I'm holding on hope for Katiz to be introduced to EVE Online.
Oh, man, I honestly didn't think Annie would be even closest, but he is absolutely fighting for his life here. Mikako losing even more Hull. He's just not repping enough.
Yeah, he is still just
Whoa!
tackled. There we go.
And suddenly this match is entirely flipped.
Look at Blank. He has to win this match basically on his own here in a polarized Cambion. Look, but how is he going to be able? Is that Adestria going to be able to apply to this Cambion?
He does have a set of drones on him at the moment, so that should give him some damage, but it looks like he's not doing much at all. Urs might even have this still. Yours. I never figured out how to pronounce that, even when I was versing him.
Yeah, look at that. There's misses. You can see those railguns just
Oh, here we
flicking
go.
off
Here we go.
across the arena. Oh,
Here
a
we
couple of
go.
good shots. Transversal matching,
Oh!
feathering, elite PvP. A one rep.
And yours is going down.
It's not
gone.
enough.
The come from behind win there. We shouldn't have doubted them, right?
We shouldn't have doubted him.
We shouldn't have doubted them.
Wow.
All that practice.
Wow, what an exciting match there. Annie Gardet, I would just like to ask you one simple question. I mean, that was fantastic, really great performance. Right. How is your back after carrying Starfleet Commander?
Oh, well, you know, it's like easy peasy lemon squeezy, right?
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And Starfleet, Europe must be well rested. Your legs are looking incredibly rested since you've not had to use them.
I don't need to play.
It's all,
He's fine.
all on Annie. I mean, it started super strong. The damage was applied from RNG almost immediately, and I actually thought it was going to be over a lot quicker than it was. But then Starfleet fed as usual, and Annie went through the rest of the match. Carried that match. That was absolutely fantastic. But coming over here, guys, you dropped the first match. That's unfortunate. It was super tight. How are you feeling?
Tight. We didn't, like, the mirror was a bit of unexpected, but I guess it's fine. Some charges that we could have gone better with. I was like 5 seconds away from the ADC, but I don't think I would have killed him in that time. Like, it's fine.
Well, this is our best
Everything
of
is fine.
three. Best of three, so you've got another chance to bring this back, take it to the full third one. How are you feeling? Is that something that's going to happen? We're going to see 3 matches here?
I think so. I hope so. We're totally gonna do our best. I think we fucked some things up with our management, but I think we're gonna do better next time.
Fantastic. Do better next time. That is such a great motto for EVE Online. Right, so we've got about, 10 minutes, I think, for the next match. Is that correct? 15. Oh, boy.
My, that's going to be good.
Yeah. So unpack a little bit of that match for me, Jintan. The damage from the No Fox Given team landed a little bit slower than the RNG guys' damage, but yet RNG came through in the end. Like, what was the defining difference between those two?
Yeah, the initial engagement there was basically both of the Cambions were able to tackle each other in the center of the arena, but whereas Starfleet Commander burnt away in the Adestria and was able to get a little bit of range going on, the Adestria on the other team burnt in. So it seemed like they were trying to all in that Cambion, kill him off quickly and get the numbers advantage, but they just weren't able to hold on to him, and that was what cost them there.
Now, Wingnut, let's put yourself in the position of these teams, right? You've got one team that's just won and one team that's just lost. Depending on the bans, are you going to bring something different, or are you going to bring the same thing? If you've just won, are you going to say, hey, we won with this, we'll bring it again? Or if you've lost, are you going to say, we're going to bring something different?
Well, I think they've picked these things, so they expect it to be the best comp. The fact that both picked it, seems like the comp they're using is going to be the right one. Then again, they could go, you know what? Now I know that guy's bringing that. Hold on a minute, I can bring something different. And I believe the bans will change with the second round. So some of these things, like for instance the Maracha, long-range control, could change the match entirely.
Yeah, exactly. I'm super excited to see if we're going to see another mirror matchup. Mirror matchups are some of my favorite matches in EVE tournament play, because especially when the fits are the same. You know, this is 2 sets of the same ships, Jintan, and it's all about pilot execution, target calling, and basically just doing it right and not screwing it up. Talk to me about that, because you have flown in numerous teams. You're flying in the Anga games, I believe.
Yep.
Just before you do, the voice from the void. The Laylaps, the Fiend, and the Maracha are now all banned.
There you go.
Ooh. So all of the... Can we get an ooh from the audience?
Yeah.
Thank you. It's like a pantomime.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was your question, Leah?
Oh, I've forgotten. It was something about
pilot
you've flown
skill.
in it.
Yeah.
Yes, pilot skill. Something that, of course, you have, Jintan. Many pilot skills.
That's why I went out in the feeders of the last AT.
I wasn't going to mention it.
But no, there is a lot to kind of these sorts of matchups. One big thing that we actually saw was that both teams popped their ADCs immediately upon taking damage, just so that in the hope that they could survive for long enough to fire the ADC off a second time in the match. And doing that just gives you so much of an advantage. It lets you effectively increase your EHP twice. And especially when you've got an active tank, that just allows you to rep up a considerable amount of your buffer and then go back in. Equally, heat management is critical in these sorts of matchups, because these ships do not have something like the T3C bonuses. They aren't Triglavian ships. You can't just heat the guns for most of the match and just basically ignore that heat bar going up. All it will take is a couple of extra cycles, and you can burn out your guns, you can burn out your prop mod. But if you don't finish a match with about 90% heat, you've left so much damage, so much speed on the table, that alone can cost you an entire match.
Wingnut, doing these 2v2s, like, how much is it in the target calling, and you warp in, you see what they've brought. How long do you have to discuss, and what's it like? Like, there's only 2 ships. It can't be that hard. Like, talk me through it.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. You kind of look what you got and go, what tools have I got, what tools have they got? And you've got maybe anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes to really look at them and go, okay, plan is kill that guy, shoot that guy, chase that guy, run from that guy. It's very, you have a pretty simple setup going on there. For instance, the Sydney one was pirate cruiser, pirate frigate. So if you see an Orthrus, you don't run away from him. He's gonna shoot you at any range. You go for him. So it's, it's really 2v2s. There's very, I won't say limited, but it's very direct options of how you win. Which was actually, they both kind of picked similar but different strategies. One actually went for the Adrestia kind of first after they harassed the Cambion. So there's a little bit of play difference, but you notice that the ideas generally tend to stay the same.
Yeah, one thing I thought was fantastic by the RNG team is normally in a 2v2, the first team that loses the ship is probably going to lose because that's half of your team gone. And obviously Starfleet dead immediately, and then Annie came through, killed 2 ships by himself, surviving. The difference just came on execution and target calling. In Jintan, we saw, as you said, Starfleet burning away and Annie swapping onto the other ship. Like, how do you make that call when you're shooting something and he's not dying? When do you just give up on it and swap?
I don't know, it's so hard to make. That's what makes a really good captain, the ability to understand that you've made a mistake and correct it. It's so difficult to do that, especially given that captaining usually requires you to commit to a strategy and commit to it with full force, not pull back and just go all in and in your belief that you're going to win. Because, in a certain extent, it's almost a battle of wills playing EVE Online, especially when when it's with bigger teams, even more so. You've got to just have that desire to win more than your opponents.
Yeah, desire to win. It sounds silly, but like just being able to just focus on it and just crush the competition. It sounds easy in theory, very hard in practice. So I'm looking at the teams, I'm seeing them fitting up ships, looking at, he's spinning his ship, getting themselves ready. But we've got our 2 lovely GMs here sort of keeping an eye on them, making sure they don't go up to any silly business. Personally, though, if I'm Team Germany, I am very intimidated by having GM Goat standing right behind me. That's some ominous man there. But he's actually a lovely cuddly bear.
It makes me feel like a gnome, like seriously. Like I feel so much shorter. I was like, I'm still a child next to a man.
The teams have just been moved into system. They're doing 1 minute of checks and will be starting shortly.
Fantastic. Teams have moved into system. So right now, they are picking their warp-in ranges. As Jintan mentions, it's 0 to 30. They don't know what the other team's brought yet. So this is the moment where they are going to be warping and spamming that D-scan button to just get as much intel as early as possible and start formulating that plan to see who they're going to shoot at first. Jintan, how important is the range of warp-in in a match like this with 2v2?
It's very important, especially given all of the mind games now that No Fox Given can potentially play. They are the people with the loss. They're the people who can potentially bring something completely different and mess up the way this matchup played in the past. I don't know, though. I'm so curious to see what both teams have brought here.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see them warp in, because I'm excited to see. Are we going to have another mirror matchup, do you think?
You know what? No. I'm going to say that both teams are going to bring something different. I reckon that No Fox Given will bring something new, and Starfleet Commander and Annie, they'll have something special in the tank for their second match so that they can send us home without a third game.
Yeah, important to know, actually, that the German team, I believe, came to this point undefeated. So that's the first match since this tournament started 3 years ago that they've dropped, I believe.
Yeah.
I think you told me that, Wingnut. Was that? Or did I just make that up?
I think you made that one up.
Oh, well, I think it's a great stat, so let's just give it to them. So fantastic. Well done, guys. Like, not dropping a single match until you got here.
German efficiency.
German efficiency. We just do the minimum amount of matches that is required. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to see what they bring. The ships are now warping.
I remember, it's effectively a 2v1, because after all, Starfleet will feed again.
Poor Starfleet Commander.
Anyway, for this match, we'll be taken over by Ithac Hawk and Wingnut Cross.
Yep. When they arrive.
When they arrive. Yeah.
These guys must be the slowest warpers in all of EVE. Have you Higgs rigged your stuff? Wait, no, that guy's a freighter. Hold on. We'll be here a while.
There we go. Oh, I see a Cambion.
Oh, boy.
Oh, here we go. So one Cambion from Starfleet Commander. Try not to lose this one. These are quite expensive.
I think it's just a pod in disguise.
And an Adrestia. And oh boy, look what we have. A Cambion and an Adrestia. So we're going for another mirror matchup here. Both teams choosing to bring exactly what they brought before. Starfleet is right in the center of the arena at 0. Blank in his Cambion, though, at 10 kilometers, choosing to warp a little bit further away. Annie in his Adrestia, 20 kilometers, and Mikoko at 28. So slightly different warping ranges there, Wingnut.
Exactly that, yeah. Looks like Blank and Miko are playing a bit more safe here. Meanwhile, Starfleet is saying, well, if I'm going to die first, I might as well start at 0.
The countdown has begun.
The countdown has begun as CCB Zealous hits the button to get this underway. This now is a championship world final point. If Starfleet Commander and Annie Gardet can win this match, then they win the entire everything over the last 3 years, and they will go home with all the prizes. The No Fox Given team have to win this,
10,
otherwise they go home.
9, 8,
Here we go.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There we go,
Let's
and we are
go.
underway. So this could be it. This could be the last match of the day. We'll see what happens. Damage. Drones are coming out. No damage yet. Who's going to be the first primary? There you go. Starfleet Commander once again feeding his Cambion.
It looks like at the moment both Camies have gone right past each other. Starfleet's gone straight for the Adresture. It looks like Annie's also, I believe, pressuring him. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Uzbek has finally got onto the other Adresture, but it's a bit too late.
I think they realize if they can get rid of the Adrestia, then their Adrestia can tank the Cambon basically to the end of the match, and that would be win condition for them. And Mikoko is struggling in his Adrestia. He's into half armor, going down faster. Annie Gardet, though, starting to take some damage. Not as much as Mikoko, though, who's about to hit Hull.
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't think these ships can tank both ships at the same time, these Adrestures. So he's going to start bleeding Hull reasonably soon. Meanwhile, Andy is now getting pressured as well. So this is going to be a race now. Except I think at the moment, Starfleet and Annie are ahead.
Yeah, they're just barely ahead. It's just two teams that have approached F1. They are just overheating as much as they possibly can. Mikoko is repping. Oh, Annie Gardet, though, is bleeding a little bit further into Hull. If Annie goes down before Mikoko, this could be massive. They could bring it back.
Yeah, but don't forget, Approach F1 is the most elite of PvP strategies. It will always succeed.
Oh,
And look at Mikko, he's getting low.
Is starting to drop.
He's starting
Can
to
he
break.
survive long enough to force Annie to die first? Because that's probably a winning
No,
condition.
no,
he
he's
is
down.
down. He is down. One Adrestia down.
And
All-
surprises, Starfleet didn't feed.
All Annie and Starfleet have to do now is kill Earthblank in this Cambion, and they have won the Fanfest Global Finals. They have won everything. Just don't fly out of the arena, guys.
That is, I'm amazed. Starfleet doesn't feed, they win. It's
Yeah, to be honest, this is actually quite a tense moment because it's very easy to do something wrong and fly out of the arena. The arena is smaller than normal at 80 kilometers. What he can try and do is bait them towards the edge and try and see if he can force them to fly out. But at the moment, they're... I hear them calling game. That is it. The Cambion, Earthblank, about to go down. And there we have it. We don't even need the third match. Team RNG, Starfleet Commander, and Annie Gardet winning the EVE Fanfest Global Finals.
and absolutely
Congratulations,
clean.
guys. There we have it, the Grand Champion, Starfleet Commander. I'm not going to talk to you. Annie Gardet.
Yes. Thank you.
How was that?
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, it was just amazing. After more than 2 years after London, finally being in Iceland, in Reykjavik, playing the final, it's just the best feeling ever.
Yep. I mean, you guys did fantastic. You took it, bang, bang, done. Didn't even need that third match. What was your thoughts going into that match? Like, were you nervous? Did you think that you were going to maybe take it in two, or were you maybe playing for the third almost?
So we were thinking maybe they would go for something a bit different. Fortunately, the laps was banned, so they weren't able to go at 0 and just try and dunk us. But it turns out they went for the same thing again, so we did the same thing, same tactic. Go for the daily laps, and it worked out pretty well.
Awesome, fantastic. There, Starfleet Commander.
You all right, mate?
How are you?
I'm good, yeah. How are you?
Oh, good. So you're a champion again. You came second in Alliance tournament.
I know, yeah.
But here you go. You managed to win.
I've got to thank Annie, really. He carries it for me, really. I'm just sort of here for the ride, you know. So I want to say well played. It was good fights.
Yeah. So let's have a round of applause for the Team RNG. Your champions here today. Well done, guys. And I'm going to come over and speak to you guys now for a little bit. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say how does that feel, because I imagine that feels pretty terrible. But you got a free trip here to Iceland. You got to see everyone, meet everyone. What was the experience like playing on the stage here in front of everybody?
It was great. I actually didn't expect it to actually happen when I heard that the first Fanfest got cancelled. But it's amazing to be here, and it was great to play here on the stage.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, you guys did absolutely incredible. It was such a great performance to watch. How was it for you? Like, did you have a good time?
I had a good time. Same as Miko, I was not expecting to stand on stage tonight. It was, like with the faction fits, it was a bit of a matter of 20-second fights with the Lelaps. Thankfully, it didn't went for that, but actually we had mirror matches, so I don't know if it was better. We tried to change up the tactics a bit, but didn't work out.
Didn't work out.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Nice matches.
Not
Thanks.
everything can. But thank you very much. Round of applause for No Fox Given, your runners up. And now, CCB Zealous.
If I could have no fox given, please. So as a second prize winners, you get a wonderful HyperX Pulsefire Haste wireless mouse each.
Thank you.
And a HyperX Cloud Alpha wireless headset each. There we go. Thank you very much. And if I can have RNG over here, please. You guys get a wonderful AMD Radeon RX 6800 XT each. Our new global finalist winners, RNG. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. It's been an absolute privilege having you. I hope you enjoyed the couple of matches. We'll see you all again very soon for the closing ceremony. Thank you.
And the party. Congratulations.
Thanks.